He's really strong. So to open this, it means that you have to be strong in this moment, because
Liverpool know exactly what Ronald Araújo can give them: speed, power, recovery and aggression. He can turn a broken transition into a dead attack, and he can survive situations that make other defenders look exposed. But there is one big problem. Araújo is at his best when the game becomes reactive, while Iraola also needs defenders who can control the moment before the duel begins. That is why this move is more interesting than it first looks. Liverpool need another centre-back now, not 6 months from now. Iraola wants a team that is intense, aggressive and vertical. Araújo has the physical profile to protect that aggression, but the same player who can rescue a dangerous situation can also create questions when the ball, the pressure and the decision all arrive at once. So this is not about whether Araújo is a good defender. Liverpool are asking something more specific. Can his biggest strengths solve a problem that Iraola is about to create on purpose? And can Liverpool live with the trade-off that comes with them?
About us who are responsible also for the players. We have to take care about them.
Before Araujo makes sense, Liverpool's problem has to make sense. Ibrahima Konate has left for Real Madrid, and Liverpool entered August with several defenders still unavailable or short of full fitness. Giovanni Leone is recovering from a serious knee injury. Joe Gomez picked up a muscle problem in pre-season. Jeremy Jacquet had not yet featured after reporting discomfort. That leaves Liverpool needing more than another name on the squad list. They need experience, availability and a defender who can step into Premier League intensity without a long introduction. Virgil van Dijk can organise the line, but Liverpool cannot build an entire season around one senior centre-back staying available every week. The timing makes the need sharper. The new season is close, the new coach is installing new ideas, and the defensive depth is already being tested. But needing a centre-back is only the first domino. Liverpool could have chosen a calmer passer, a younger project, or a safer possession profile. They moved for Araujo instead. That means the real question is not why Liverpool need a defender, it is why they need this defender. And this is why Araujo catches the eye. Forget the transfer for a moment and look at the defender. At 1.91 meters and 96 kilos, the size is obvious, but the important detail is how quickly that size moves. Araujo can defend a runner in open grass, attack the first duel, and recover after the line in front of him has been beaten. One of the clearest examples came at the Bernabeu in 2022. Barcelona used him at right back against Vinicius Jr. Araujo won 6 balls, scored with a header, and Barcelona won 4-0. That match explains the profile better than a page of season statistics. He was placed there because one of the fastest attackers in football needed to be controlled physically. Araujo could match the run, survive the contact and still attack the other box. Liverpool are not looking at a generic centre-back, they are looking at a defender who can erase distance. But that quality only becomes truly valuable when the coach creates situations where distance has to be erased. And that is where this stops being only a Liverpool story and becomes an Iraola story. Iraola has already described the football he wants as intense, aggressive and vertical. He also wants Liverpool spending as much time as possible in the opposition half. That sounds exciting, but aggressive football always asks something from the defenders behind it. When the fullback goes, when a midfielder jumps forward, or when the first pressure is beaten, the centre-backs can suddenly be asked to defend much more space than the possession suggested a second earlier. This is where Araujo becomes tactically interesting. Iraola does not need his recovery pace because he plans to defend badly. He needs it because aggressive teams deliberately accept moments of risk in order to attack with more numbers and more pressure. If the first duel is lost, Araujo can chase. If the channel opens, he can cover it. If the attacker thinks the transition has become a race, Araujo is one of the defenders comfortable making it exactly that. His speed is not just an athletic bonus. Inside Iraola's football, it can become tactical insurance. And once you see that, Liverpool choosing this profile stops looking random. But if Iraola wants Liverpool high up the pitch, why not choose a cleaner possession defender? Because a backline does not need 4 copies of the same player. Different defenders can solve different problems. Van Dijk can give Liverpool calm distribution, leadership and control. Araujo can offer something more reactive beside that control. He can step into contact, protect the channel and recover when the first plan fails. That difference matters because the most dangerous moment for an aggressive team is often not while it has the ball. It is the second after it loses it. Liverpool may not be asking who is the most complete centre-back available. They may be asking who can survive the emergency their football creates. Araujo has spent much of his career proving that he can survive emergencies. His body, his pace, and his willingness to defend 1 against 1 all point in the same direction. But there is a reason this is a loan and not a simple long-term commitment. The profile solves one problem very clearly. It also brings another one with it. And this is the one big problem. Liverpool do not get to sign only the powerful part of Ronald Araujo, they get all of him. His greatest moments often come when he can react, sprint, collide and recover. The harder question begins when he has to control the situation before it becomes physical. Opponents can press his first touch, close the obvious passing lane and force a decision before the duel appears. That does not make him a bad ball-playing defender. Barcelona describe him as capable with the ball. It means the margin for error changes when an elite team asks a centre-back to help dictate the game under pressure. His aggression can create the same trade-off. In the 2024 Spanish Super Cup final against Real Madrid, Araujo conceded a penalty on Vinicius and was later sent off after a second booking. The same instinct that allows him to attack danger can punish him when the timing is wrong. That is the problem Liverpool have to evaluate. The question is control. Can he choose when to attack the moment, when to simplify the pass, and when to stay patient? Barcelona reduced his role last season with only 11 league starts. The talent did not disappear. The fit became more complicated. Liverpool have to decide whether Iraola can make the strengths matter more than the trade-off. So why accept the risk at all? Because Liverpool are not betting on an imaginary ceiling. They have already seen what this player can look like at a very high level. In the 2022 to 2023 league season, Araujo was a major part of a Barcelona defence that conceded only 18 goals across 38 league matches. He has also passed 200 appearances for Barcelona and has been trusted at centre-back and right-back. Those numbers do not prove that the same player will appear in England, but they prove that the upside exists. Liverpool are not asking a raw defender to discover elite physical defending for the first time. They are asking whether Araujo can make those old strengths reliable again in a different environment. That distinction matters. A project is built around potential that has never been seen. Araujo is a recovery bet on qualities that have already survived the biggest matches. The question is not whether the old version ever existed. The question is whether Iraola even needs the old version back. And maybe that is the twist. Iraola may not need to fix Araujo at all. He may only need to give this version of Araujo the right job. That means reducing the situations where his weaknesses become the centre of the game and increasing the moments where his strengths decide it. Put him next to a calmer distributor. Let him protect the space when the full-back moves high. Give him responsibility for the aggressive duel. Use his recovery speed when the press is beaten. When Liverpool are defending a lead, let him attack crosses, bodies and second balls. This is not an argument for hiding a player. It is an argument for role clarity. Flick can prefer a different balance at Barcelona without Araujo becoming useless. Iraola can value a different balance at Liverpool without pretending the weaknesses do not exist. One coach may see a that complicates his structure. Another may see a profile that protects his structure. The player has not changed. The job has. And if Liverpool believe the job can change the value, the structure of the deal makes perfect sense. Iraola has publicly defined his Liverpool football around intensity, aggression and verticality, while current reporting says Flick did not see his present style as an ideal fit for Barcelona's present. Because Liverpool do not need to settle the argument today. The agreement being reported is a season-long loan with an option to buy, and Sky Sports reports that option at around €55 million. That turns the season into evidence. Liverpool can see how Araujo handled Premier League pressure, how quickly he understands if next to Van Dijk, how quickly he understands Iraola's triggers, and how much the system exposes or protects his weaker moments. They can also see whether the physical upside still appears every week instead of only in old highlights. A permanent transfer demands belief before the experiment begins. A loan lets the experiment produce the answer. That is why this is more than emergency cover. It is an audition with a real price waiting at the end. Liverpool get the defender they need now while keeping control over the long-term decision. Araujo gets something just as important, where his role can be judged in a different football environment. Belief brought him to the door. Evidence decides whether he stays. And now the transfer story is almost finished, but the real test has not started. Araujo does not have to prove that he is strong. Liverpool know that. He does not have to prove that he can run, compete or dominate a duel. They have years of footage for that. He has to prove that those strengths can live inside Iraola's football without the trade-off becoming too expensive. He has to stay available. He has to make the simple decision when the press arrives. He has to protect the space when Liverpool commit numbers forward, and when the first pressure fails, he has to become the defender who makes the danger disappear. That is what Liverpool see in Ronald Araújo. Not perfection, not a defender without weaknesses. They see a profile that may solve a problem their new football is likely to create. Barcelona may have looked at the same qualities and needed something different. Liverpool are betting that different does not mean worse. And if Iraola is right, the biggest question at the end of the season will not be why Liverpool wanted Ronald Araújo. It will be why the fit looked so obvious once someone gave him the right job.